Tottenham TV live from Madrid. This is your match preview. Atletico Madrid against Tottenham in the last 16. And yeah, look, Spurs have been a different beast in the Champions League, finishing in the top fourth place, while Atletico Madrid had to qualify through the playoff. So Diego Simeone made that very well clear in his press conference as well. Spurs have only faced Atletico Madrid once ever in our history.
European Cup final.
Cup Winners' Cup.
Cup Winners'
Cup, 1963. Spurs came out on top that time. It's time to do it again, isn't it?
Was it like 5-1 or something? We won big.
It was a big score.
Big.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a good history against Atletico Madrid. How are we saying? We got form. We have form.
It's actually mad as well when you think about it, with Atletico Madrid's history in Europe since the 60s and our history in Europe since then. Like how many times we've both been in Europe and we haven't met since then.
Yeah, it's a bit of an odd one. Look, it's going to be a hard game. We know Atletico are a very good team. I was just looking at their home record this season. I think they're second in the whole of La Liga, only lost one game. But it's weird, they're much better at home in Spain, in La Liga, than in the Champions League. They had won 4 but lost 3. So they did stumble a bit in the Champions League. And I have to say, I was watching a lot of their game against Bruges in the last round, and they did struggle in both legs. I know they ended up comfortably winning that home leg, but it was very close in both legs. I think they were 3-1 up in the first leg and ended up drawing 3-3. And then in the second leg, it was very, very tight. I think Bruges made it 1-1 at one point, but they ended up running away with it. But I think Atletico, I think they've definitely been better in previous years. They're still a very solid team and very good players. And Simeone, they're so ingrained with his way of playing. They're always tough to play against. It's never an easy game against Atletico. But they're not unbeatable, I think it's fair to say.
I think when you're looking at their form, particularly recently they've been a bit better. They've won 4 in their last 5. But they have been fairly inconsistent this season. You know, a 3-0 loss away at Vallecano, the 3-0 with Club Bruges. They lost 1-0 to Betis at home not long ago, 0-0 with Levante, losing at home to Bodo Glimt as well in the Champions League. So in previous years, you would think like going to Atletico would be like an impossible task. We've seen how they've done at home over the last 5 to ever since Simeone's been there, really. But now you're seeing this season, there have been a few cracks there, away and more so away from home than it is at home. But definitely at home, they're not impenetrable, 100%. And I think...
as you said, Bodo won there.
Yeah. Bodo have had some incredible results, though, in this Champions League. Like, they beat Inter Milan home and away. They've beaten Atletico away. They've beaten Man City. They've had some crazy, crazy results. But yeah, look, obviously, Simeone says Spurs are the favourites going into this, but we're not. No. Atletico are firmly the favourites for this tie, home and away. And I think if we can come out of this tie with just a 1-goal deficit, I think that's a good result for us, and we can go into the home leg and potentially, where Atletico are a bit weaker away from home, and potentially see the tie through.
Obviously, we go into this game, as we're talking about being hopeful and try and get a good result. I'm not sure how Igor was going to approach this game. But is this game a distraction for us right now? That's the question. That's what a lot of people are saying. It's a distraction. It's something we don't need, especially as we know that Atletico are a bruising team, an aggressive team. If we go full strength, are we risking potentially injuries, fatigue going into the game on the weekend, which obviously has to take priority right now given the situation we are in the Premier League. We can't afford to get relegated. We need to every point and every inch we can. Is this a distraction that we don't need, or is it a welcome distraction? And maybe it's a chance for us to gain some confidence without the pressure of needing the points like in the Premier League.
Yeah, look, I think it's a bit of both, really. I think in an ideal world, we don't need this right now. However, if we can go and beat Atletico over 2 legs, surely it gives the team a bit of confidence that we can go and beat the likes of Leeds and Nottingham Forest and these kind of teams. Like, this is clearly probably the best team that we're going to play. When you're looking at our fixture list, this is the best team that we're going to play on that fixture list, barring Liverpool away. So as much as we don't need this tie right now, and we don't need this fixture right now, I do think winning this tie, or even having a good performance over the 2 legs, and showing the world that Spurs aren't these players aren't like crap as everyone's talking about. Well, shouldn't be in a relegation battle. That's not where they deserve to be in terms of obviously it's where they deserve to be in terms of performances, but not in the quality of the player, which we've been saying all through the season. They haven't proven that to us this season. But if we have 2 good games over Atletico, whether we go through or not, hopefully that can give them confidence. I really hope.
Yeah, you have to see it as an opportunity. That's how Igor has to look at it. That's how the players have to look at it. We've obviously let ourselves massively down at the moment in the Premier League with the performances and the results we're getting. It seems like we're in an unshakable funk at the moment, which we're unable to just overcome. And you can see it as even against Palace, we go 1-0 up and then immediately it gets overturned. Most games we're conceding the first goal. If we go into this game, if we just have a positive display, if we show ourselves more than anything that we are a capable team, we can go toe-to-toe with teams like Atletico, and surely you would have to think that should bleed into the Premier League at some point. That should give that team that little bit of confidence they need, because that is something that clearly they're completely drained of. They're not passing properly. They're putting no moves together. They seem confused on the pitch. They don't seem to have any certainty with their play. They seem to be lumping it long. They don't know how to play through teams. They're struggling containing teams as well. So it's an opportunity to just show something. And I guess the benefit of tomorrow's game, if we do lose, even if it's a bad loss, it doesn't worsen our Premier League situation. So it's kind of almost like a free hit in that sense. I know obviously we want to progress to the Champions League. We want to go as far as possible. It's also, it's also our last chance of getting into Europe is winning that Champions League if we want to get into Europe. So obviously I want to win it, and Champions League would be a historical thing. That'd be amazing. We have to be realistic though. With the relegation form that we're in, the position that we're in, I can't see this team going to win the Champions League. So in theory, the quicker we exit probably maybe leaves the team a bit fresher for the Premier League games. But hopefully, if we see it as a chance to build momentum, build some good feeling, build some positivity, which is so seldom of in recent weeks, then maybe there could be a benefit to having these games. And that's how we've got to try and see it.
Yeah, we got to use it to our advantage. We really do. And I think there are ways we can do it if we do put... But look, we've seen it before though, haven't we? We've seen us go and beat Dortmund. We've seen us go and beat Frankfurt, 2 good German sides, but we haven't used that as a catalyst to move forward into the Premier League and take that form into the Premier League. So it's kind of hard to see it as that kind of positive when we've seen in the past that hasn't happened.
For Igor, how do you think he sees it? Because he's in an interesting position, because he's not going to be here in 3 months' time, right? He knows that next season he'll be moving on. So from his point of view, if you're Igor, obviously you don't want to be known as the manager that takes Tottenham down, of course. That's his number one priority, to keep Tottenham up. That's why he's got the job, because Frank was probably going to take us down. But does he prioritise the Champions League? Because he knows for his CV, if he gets as far as possible, that will look very good on him.
But the thing is, I don't think there's a case of prioritising one or the other. I don't think we got enough players for that. I think we go with what we got, because that's all we got right now. The same players are going to play in the Champions League that are going to play in the Premier League. So I don't
have
think...
a few more options now. Spence is back, Radu's there.
Yeah, I mean... But
not tons, but...
still, I think he still goes with what he has in both games in terms of our strongest 11. What he envisages our strongest 11 is going to play tomorrow night, and our strongest 11 is going to play at Liverpool on the weekend. I don't think it's a case of resting players for either game. I think both games are of, I wouldn't say equal importance, because the league is much more important for us right now with the position that we're in. But I think, the club see this opportunity as well to progress because of the money at stake.
True, you get an extra 10 million.
You get a lot of money by progressing by each round of the Champions League.
So need that money.
Exactly.
If we go down.
I think as much as I would say, in an ideal world with the situation we're in, we'll rest a few players for the Champions League and go in for the Premier League this weekend. But even if we rest players against Atletico, we're going to lose against Liverpool regardless.
Yeah, you might say you give yourself a better chance if you keep players
potentially.
Fresh. Obviously, last season it was the opposite. We completely played a second string team in the
Premier League. I think we go as strong as possible in both games.
But are we? So you don't see a situation where we have to completely just throw in one of these games to prioritise another.
If we get battered tomorrow, 3-0. Then I can see us resting maybe a few players in the home game.
Lead up to Forest.
Because that's a massive game, that Forest game. But I think in this game specifically, I can't see us getting anyone rested. And if it's really tight, like if we take a one goal deficit, if it's 1-1, like we can't rest anyone in the next leg. We have to go full strength.
But can we afford to go full strength when we got such a big game against Forest? That could be the difference in staying up and going down that specific game.
Yeah.
Don't we need a completely fresh team for that? Don't we need our best chance of winning?
We do. But unfortunately, this is the situation we're in. We're in the Champions League and we're in the Premier League, and I just can't see us resting players in this Champions League. I just can't see it.
I know. I don't know what I want him to do, though. I think... I mean, there's a good case to say he should.
100%.
There's a very good case to say he should, given the circumstances, and we can't afford.
It's a game we don't need right now. That's the reality. It is a game we don't need right now. But it's also a great opportunity to get into the quarterfinals of the Champions League.
I know. So I don't think he will. I think for Igor himself, I think he will play a strong team because I think he's going to... Look, this is an opportunity for him to show what he's about.
So, mad, isn't it? Like, we've been fighting tooth and nail to get back in the Champions League for however many years now since that Conte season. We haven't been in the Champions League since then, have we? Mm-hmm. And then the one year we get to the last 16, we've got Atletico. Atletico not on the best form compared to the last couple of years. And we're in a bloody relegation, in the midst of a relegation battle with no fit players.
Because,
it's just like, you just can't write this stuff, can you?
What if Romero, Van Ven plays someone, one of them gets in a big injury or something? And all of a sudden you're thinking, why the hell did we play them?
Romero's situation's precarious anyway. One more booking and he's out for the next 2 games.
1 or 2?
1.
Is he not on 8?
No, he's on 9 apparently.
You sure?
That's what I've heard, yeah.
I thought he was on 8 bookings.
I think he's on 9.
Because he got a double booking. He's on 8 or 9?
Well, he's on 10, it says, in the Premier League.
Yeah, but 2 of them were a double booking for a red, which cancels it out, which means it's just a yellow, which is just a 1 red, I mean.
Oh, so is it 10 minus 2? So is it 8?
That's what I thought, yeah.
I thought it just gets counted as 1.
No, it gets counted as 0 and 1 red.
You sure?
I think so.
Well, either way, 1 or 2 bookings, he's definitely going to get that from now to the end of the season. Either way.
Well, no, it's up until game week 32.
Which is how many game weeks?
2 more.
2 more. Oh, really? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not too bad.
He'll still probably get it.
Yeah, he'll probably get it. He needs to get the void 2 and 2, I think, or maybe it's 1 and 2, but I thought it was 2. But
anyway, it's also an interesting situation that if Spence, Richarlison or Mawani get booked this game, they're suspended for the second leg. So that might force us to be able to rest, well, if we even want to rest these guys. But there's that situation as well. But look, back on, do we want to rest players? In an ideal world, yes, but also we kind of just want to, at this moment in time, the way my mind is working right now, just put this Premier League side form to one side and let's focus on the Champions League and let's try build some positive momentum. Yeah,
and I don't think he will. I think at the end of the day, we also need as much game time in the players' legs with Tudor's way of playing. If he's going to be here from now to the end of the season, which is definitely up for debate at the moment.
What is Tudor's way of playing, though?
Man-to-man pressing, this back 3, bit of pressing higher, a bit on the ball, how we play through the thirds and stuff like that. We're clueless at the moment. We have no idea. We haven't got to grips with it. And I think this man-to-man pressing is not doing us good at the moment. We're being pulled apart. I think teams are very clever. There's some fans even suggested, has Tudor been worked out within 45 minutes? And I really hope that's not the case, but I guess we'll only know.
Is Tudor going to see out the season?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Which is mad,
Which is mad, but if he gets a result here, I don't know. I don't know if it changes anything, to be honest, because he's going to be judged on Premier League. They're not going to allow him to send us down, are they?
Yeah. Another 2 interesting scenarios or things going into this game is Conor Gallagher and Ademola Lookman. So obviously Conor Gallagher
and Johnny Cardozo.
Johnny Cardozo as well. So Conor Gallagher obviously played at Atletico this season, last season. We signed him off Atletico. He's going to be chomping at the bit. Surely he's going to be chomping at the bit to prove the doubters wrong on the pitch, particularly away tomorrow night. The other side of it with Ademola Lookman and Johnny Cardozo, I think more with Ademola Lookman than Cardozo, because it was actually Cardozo that rejected us and we wanted him and we had that whole situation with the Lo Celso transfer. But with Ademola Lookman, if you believe the rumours, he wanted to join Spurs. His agent was pimping him out to Spurs And Spurs didn't make the move, which is madness in my opinion. When you sell Brennan Johnson on the first day of the window and Ademola Lookman is wanting to come, he's there, and Atletico don't make their move till late in the window, you're thinking, how stupid can you be? Like, seriously, how stupid can you be to not bring in Ademola Lookman? You've seen how he's started his life at Atletico. He's been on fire. And I think he is nailed on to score against us, man. He is gonna as well want to prove Tottenham wrong for not picking him up.
I don't think he's thinking about Tottenham. I think he's just thinking about his start to life at Atletico, which has been unbelievable. And I think even they're surprised how well he's done in the beginning.
True, but even if you've got a team that have rejected you, you're thinking, I'm going to show you why you shouldn't reject me.
Yeah, if the rumours are true, which apparently there's some people who say they're close to Lookman's agent, who said they were pushing Lookman to go to Spurs, and Spurs were the ones who said no. So if that is true, it's an utter farce, really. It's a derelict of duty from Tottenham to leave us so short when there's a really good player. I'm not saying Lookman is some world-class player, but he's a very good player, and he's done very well at the beginning of Atletico Madrid. He's definitely someone who'd be playing week in, week out right now for Spurs. He did very well for Atalanta over the last few years.
He scored a hat-trick in the Europa League final.
Scored a hat-trick in the Europa League final. He's a very good player. He's a very good player. So it would have been worth, even if it was, I don't know how much they signed him for. It was it 30 million?
35 million, yeah.
It's worth taking a punt. I know it's similar price what we got for Johnson. I think he's a better player than Johnson. So you're looking at, it's probably an upgrade there. So you can justify it in that way. How the club would justify it and would say, well, if he's not a long-term fit for the team, and if we don't believe he's good long-term, we're not going to buy him just for short-term. But you know what? Not signing him might screw us short term.
Beggars can't be choosers at this moment in time. We were going for Semenyo, he rejected us. Like,
he's a pretty good Semenyo alternative.
Yeah, he is. But if you're selling Brennan Johnson, you can't not bring someone in. Mm-hmm. You can't. It's just impossible. And we did the impossible.
Yeah.
We didn't bring anyone in. And it's absolute shambles and disgraceful from the Tottenham board, Johan Lang and Vinay, for not bringing anyone in January, is particularly when you know Ademola Lookman was sitting right there and willing to come as well. 100%. It's just mental.
The whole thing, I'm not sitting here saying Johnson's great, but we should never have sold him if we're not going to buy anyone. And now we're in this situation right now.
We've been crying out for someone that can put the ball in the back of the net.
Adds goals. That's what he does.
And that's what he is.
So, 100% the story's written for him to have a very good game. They've obviously got very good talents. Griezmann, Sorloth's been doing well. Julian Alvarez, brilliant player.
Alvarez not exactly having the same season as he had last year, though, is he? Last year he was phenomenal.
He's not on great form, but he's still a very good player. We know how good he is. And they've every
Langley.
player... Longley, he's probably someone we can target, hopefully. Every player, though, seems to be very strong. Everyone's decent level technical as well. Simeone's got them always, even now, they're not as consistent this season, but they're still, third in La Liga. They've still got a very good home record. They're still tough to play against. So every season he's got them in the Champions League. They're always up there. It's one of the best jobs, probably, from a manager of any team, really, in over the last 20 years. And the fact he's been there for so long is incredible. So it's going to be very, very tough. It's going to be very tough. And I'm sure there's going to be players with having points to prove. I hope Gallagher comes out there and shows the Wanda Metropolitano what they're missing and shows them, look, you should never have sold me. I'm good enough to play for this team. It's up to him to show that, though, because at the moment, they're probably looking at his performance at the time thinking, we did well to get as much money as we did.
If we do go to Atletico, to Madrid and win tomorrow night, will you have any confidence that we can take that into the league? Will you have confidence that Spurs will beat the drop?
I don't think it really changes much for me, because as you say, we've had those little boosts in the Champions League, and
this is something different. Like Atletico away to Dortmund at home with 10 men and Frankfurt away.
I understand that, but I think the only thing that's going to convince me that we're staying up is results in the Premier League.
Yeah,
that's it. I don't think I can look at that. Like, as much as I'm sure if we win tomorrow, I'll be delighted and I'll be shocked, and we're underdogs. I don't expect us to win. So to win in a surprising manner, obviously I'm going to be happy with that. But it doesn't take away that feeling of dread, which I don't think will go away unless the points are on the board. Unless we start getting those points on the board, how can it go away? You know what I mean? Because if we beat Atletico and then lose to Liverpool, it's just going to be back to where we were today, which is that feeling again. So unless we're getting points on the board, obviously, it should give you that little bit of like, okay, maybe this team can play. Maybe if you see like an organised team hurting Atletico and actually putting some moves together, that gives you hope that, okay, maybe we can replicate that in the Premier League.
Romero,
sure.
Danso and Van de Ven at the back gives us the best chance to do so.
It gives you a bit of hope, but that pit in my stomach that I've been holding for weeks, that just fear of dread, it won't go away until we're clear of the situation. It just can't.
Over the weekend, I said, time to step back, relax, and I was thinking a lot about the situation. I had a dream that we stayed up.
That's where we're at at the moment. We're dreaming about staying up.
We need divine intervention. We need divine intervention.
We're dreaming. You're going. I used to dream about us winning a trophy or something.
I dreamt that we're staying up, and that has made me believe that Spurs are going to stay up.
Was it on the final day or?
I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know.
Just looked at the table once and we were.
Yeah, we were up. We were safe.
We were safe.
I don't know in what scenario it was. It was all a bit of a blur, but we stayed up. So I'm very scared. I'm very scared, but I think we need to manifest staying up. We need to manifest it. And if we manifest it enough, it's going to happen.
I hope so.
This is look, we're in a shit situation. We're in a really shit situation. But we all just need to come together, manifest it, send those positive vibes, and hopefully over the course from now to the end of the season, it'll work in our favour. Like, that's all we got right now. That is literally all we got.
All we got is hope.
That's it. That's it.
Rebellions are built on hope.
So we have to manifest this positivity from now until the end of the season, and hopefully it can just transcend into Spurs staying up. But
and maybe you can look. You never know. Or maybe a win tomorrow can spark something. It's happened before. Sometimes you just need that one win, that one performance, one thing, and to give everyone a boost and a shot on the arm. We talk about those Champions League games, they're not giving us a boost. They were back in January now. It seems like a long time ago.
I'll tell you what though, like, if we do go and win this game tomorrow night, I'm going to be delighted, but there's going to be a part of me that is just going to be pissed off as well. It's just like, you've decided to turn up for this game. Where have you been for the last couple of months? Why are we in this relegation battle if you can go to Atletico and win?
There'll be those question marks. You're already angry about it. It hasn't even happened yet. So you'll breathe a sigh of relief once we lose 3-0. Okay, we are really that
I'll be delighted. I'll be delighted if we win. But there will be that part of me. There will be.
I think, it's a weird feeling going into this game. It's a weird feeling. But let's just hope we take the positives. Let's just hope there's something we can take from this game going into the run-in. And let's just hope, I think, above all, no injuries. If you offered me right now and no one gets injured, but we lose 3-0, I'll probably take it.
Yeah, that is sad, man.
Yeah.
So sad where we're at right now. But just manifest it, people. Manifest it and we'll stay up. But look, that's us here in Madrid. Tomorrow's going to be a big day. We'll take you along the journey. So a lot more content coming your way tomorrow. But that is your match preview. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always,